Hi guys, it's Cindy Leach, your polymer clay tutor. In today's PCT product demo, I'm going to show you how to use CaBezels. Now, CaBezels are a special mold for polymer clay that makes cabochons and bezels. That's why it's called the CaBezel. And it was invented by a polymer clay artist from Canada called Wendy Orlowski, and she owns the site called Shades of Clay. Now, what's really neat about these molds is that you can do all sorts of cool things. Now, let me just show you what they make, and then I'll explain to you how they work. Now, here is a couple of the different shapes. They're more of an organic shape, and I think this one comes from the mold called Fab Focals 2. And this is the bezel here is the dark purple side, and then the inside here is the cabochon that I made using the mold. Here is another shape. It's a little bit like a necktie, and this is the cab shape in the center, and then the bezel shape on the outside. And it's very unique. And what is cool about them, and she has them in a bunch of different patterns. She has something called the all-in-one bezel or CaBezel. She's got ones for making bracelets and all kinds of stuff. But I'm going to show you this Fab Focals one. What's cool about it is that you can see through them, so that when you're working with any of your pattern sheets and that kind of thing, you can see exactly what you're working with, and that's very unique to her. And in fact, I believe Wendy was the first person to ever invent anything to do with making polymer clay bezels and caps. Now, what I've got here is a sheet. This is just some scrap clay that I'm going to use on the, actually, I'm not going to start with this piece. I'm going to start with this other piece. Let's start with this purple piece. This is a piece of purple that I'm going to use to make one of the bezels. Now, I've pre-baked this one, and I'll explain that in a second. But what you need to do is roll it out at the thickest setting on your pasta machine. Mine is to 8 playing cards thick, and I've rolled it out, and then I want to double it over. So you want a sheet that is about 16 playing cards thick. Then I'm going to just, it can be a little bit less, but if you go too thin, you can run into some problems, which I'll show you later. Now, I'm just rolling it out flat. And in fact, I should have stuck it to this other glass tile first. One thing when you're cutting it out, if you have it on a glass tile or something that you can turn easily, which I can't turn this whole sheet very easily, this works out really well. So I'm just sticking it to here first. Then I'm going to take the CaBezel mold, and this here is the bezel, the outline part of it. So that is the bezel that I'm going to do. And you just want to put a little bit of water on there. And then you're going to turn it over onto your clay. And take something like the end of your acrylic rod. This works really well because you can hold it and press down with it. And you just want to start pressing around the outside edges of the mold and just start pressing it down. Now, you can, what's cool is you can see through it. So you may not, the camera won't be able to pick up on it as well. But when you know that you've really pressed it down well, when you can see the dark color of your clay showing right through the lines on the edge of the mold. So I'm just pressing this really, really well. And then we can lift it off. And you've got the shape of the bezel right there. Now, if I've moved it a little bit, I'll get a couple marks, so I'll just smooth that out. Now, we can cut this out using the X-Acto knife. Now, Wendy, when she does it, she puts hers onto something called a deli sheet. I don't even know what those are. I think you get them for putting between hamburger patties or something, but I just have this glass tile. It works great. And I'm just going to cut around it using my X-Acto knife. And I find it easier for me to just move my blade and then turn around the corners like this with the tile underneath. You're going to have to practice this because everyone has their easiest way to cut it out. And you just go around. And if you don't cut it out perfect, you can always sand those edges later. after it's baked. So you just peel it off, and then you have this bezel here. Now, if your edges aren't perfect, you can run your finger around them and before you bake them. Now, you want to bake this for about a half an hour first, and you always want to bake the bezel first. I made a few mistakes trying to bake the cab first, but then you can run into a few problems. Like this one here, I baked the cab first and then tried to get the bezel to shape around it, and I warped the bezel a little bit. Also, you can see that it's nice and even. I baked it on a piece of paper, and if you do the piece too thin, you can end up with issues like little pockets in behind the piece. Now, I don't know if Doug can pick that up or not, but if your bezel is too thin, you get these funny little pockets that happen in behind. So that thicker piece of clay really, really helps. Then what you do is you go ahead and you make your cabochon. Now, I'm not going to make this one right now. I already have my baked piece. The clay I'm going to use here is a piece of Mocha-Magani. And I have a nice thin piece here that I cut off of a slab of clay. But I'm going to need some support in behind it. So I've rolled out another sheet of scrap clay, and I've done it at 8 playing cards thick, and I'm doubling that one up as well, and going to put that here. Now you can go 2 or 3 thicknesses if you like of the thickest setting. It's up to you depending on how high you want that cabochon to pop up. Then I'm going to lay my thin sheet. You could use cane slices. You could use all kinds of cool things. Pattern, whatever kind of surface technique that you like. I'm going to try to lay this down and not get any bubbles on it. But like I was saying, the unique thing about this particular these cabochon molds here is that you can see through it. Now on my, I would like to have my piece sit up this way, so I'm going to look at my mold, see which way it will fit, and decide where I want these 2 colors to be, and I think I'll put it there. And so you can see right through, which makes that really handy. You do the same thing. You just press right down and rub in around until you have it pressed right in. Now, I put a little bit of water on it before, but if you have too much water on, you find it separates from there. And I don't like to have too much water on there. It kind of pops off. So now once I've got it pressed in the center, I kind of go around the outside edges a bit and really press that edge down. And it gets that cabochon to just sort of sit right up, which is really cool. Wendy's a clever girl. She's invented all sorts of cool things. You'll have to check that out and check her all of her different cabs out, or her CaBezels out. Anyways, okay, so there we go. And can you see that? We've got a CaBezel right there that we're going to cut around the same way. Now, hopefully I'm not going to get my head in the way here. I'm going to do my best to cut this straight. And you want to make sure your blade is as straight up and down as possible. You don't want to undercut it too much. And you want to watch the edges and try to do it as smoothly as possible. Just like this. Got it? And then you can use all of this for a scrap clay on the center of another one. Now I've got my piece, and I want to push it down just a little bit and just make sure that it is smoothed out. And then what we'll do is we'll put that in the center of the baked one. Make sure it's lined up. Now you could put a little bit of bacon bond or something like that on the inside. I find it sticks quite well, especially once you start pressing it in. So now I used quite a bit of clay, so it's quite thick. I'm going to use a little bit of water on my fingers here. And just start pressing that down into the bezel and making sure that it's fitting in nicely and at a bit of an angle. And you can smooth it around. It's very, very professional looking if you do this in a nice clean way. Now, it does such a smooth job that some people don't sand it. On a technique like this, I'm definitely going to sand it. It just gives so much more life to the technique. There's a lot of pearl colors and stuff in this clay. Now I'm going to just kind of work it right down so they can't see any of my background color. You want to, if you do use a scrap clay underneath, you're going to want to use one that will look good with your piece if it's going to show it all. So I'd work a little bit harder at that, and then I would put that in the oven and bake it for a full hour. All right, so then what you can do is, like I did with these pieces, I sanded and buffed them really well, cleaned up any of the edges, made sure that they were nice and clean. They didn't have little cut edges or anything like that. And then I could add a bail to them if I like. This one's nice and thick here. I could drill a hole down through the side and figure out how to make this into a pendant or a piece of jewelry. So I hope that was helpful for you. If it was, do make sure to let us know if you like this video in the comment section below. And do check out Wendy's site at shadesofclay.com. She's a Canadian site, but she can ship internationally, and she has all kinds of other polymer clay products and things there too that you might want to check out. And if you have some suggestions for future videos or demos that you would like me to do, leave those in the comment section below as well. All right, so we'll see you next time, and bye for now.